Time now for Media Watch, and Emma James has been keeping a close eye on the stories that have everyone talking. And Emma, you're starting in London, where a new mayor is set to be elected.
Yes, Sadiq Khan, it would appear, has cemented his place in history, elected the new London mayor. There has been a very unsavoury side to this whole campaign, claim, counterclaim of racism, anti-Semitism, extremism. But in the end, it looks as though Sadiq Khan has actually won by a fairly sizable margin.
These aren't the official results, are they? We should just say.
No, this is the provisional results, 44% to 35%. This is an important moment in British politics. It's easy to forget with all the rowing and rancour surrounding this whole election. This tweet really sums it up. As a young Muslim living in a time of rampant Islamophobia, I can't express how much Sadiq Khan's victory means to me. Well done, Londoners. And it is something of a fairy tale almost, because he's a 45-year-old son of an immigrant bus driver who was up against the son of a billionaire, educated at Eton. They couldn't come from more different backgrounds, and really you just need the glass slipper there and you've got this fairy tale. There is, however, one cloud on the horizon. The only downfall of Sadiq Khan winning the mayoral election is this tweet that was sent out by Katie Hopkins, who is a fairly revolting character and sadly quite well known in the United Kingdom. People keep giving her a platform to air her heinous opinions. What she said was, if Sadiq Khan wins London, I will run naked down Regent Street with a sausage up my bum in protest.
She may well have to do that, given that he's almost...
A lot of people are concerned that she might do that because she is one to do anything for publicity. Sadiq Khan won by a good margin. I wonder if Hopkins will carry out her promise to streak with a banger up her backside. The firework type, please, says this Twitter user. Part of me hopes Sadiq Khan celebrates his victory by zip-wiring into Victoria Park, waving Union flags. Now, if you don't know what that's about, we do have some images to remind you, because, of course, Sadiq Khan is taking over from none other than Boris Johnson. And he very famously zip-wired into Victoria Park during the build-up to the Olympics in 2012 in London.
There we are.
And it all went horribly wrong. He ended up suspended at a fairly sizable height. And he's now admitted that it was actually a very painful experience. I don't think we really needed to have that explained to us, because it does look very, very uncomfortable indeed. In fact, there's a photograph here of it, so you can enjoy it in all its close-up horror. And you can imagine that really wouldn't be a terribly nice experience at all. Now, it's not his only faux pas, it has to be said. He is quite a character. I should remind you as well that he's tipped to be the next leader of the Conservative Party, so could become the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. The Telegraph has put together some of his finest moments that were ever caught on camera. There are 40 of these images. This is how many times he does ridiculous things. He just seems to have one of those faces. It doesn't matter what he does. He seems to look like a fool. So he will be sadly missed by many people, certainly in the press, because he does come up with plenty of stories.
Even for just his comic value. Let's move stateside, Emma. US presidential hopeful Donald Trump has made a rather clumsy attempt to win over Hispanic voters there.
Yes, this tweet really beggars belief, I think it's fair to say. That's the photo of him with his taco bowl. And what he tweeted was this: Happy Cinco de Mayo, which is a Mexican celebration. The best taco bowls are made in Trump Tower Grill. I love Hispanics. Now, of course, this is the man who said that Mexico was sending over its rapists and criminals. And I'm sure there are some nice people in Mexico. He's also talked about building a wall to stop any Mexicans getting into the United States, and is very proud of his pledge that he will do that if he becomes the United States president. Hence this tweet: a taco bowl is just a taco with a big, beautiful wall around it. Possibly the most clever tweet on this particular topic, because that is the exact words, the exact description that Donald Trump has given for the wall he intends to put up between Mexico and the US. Now, as for them being the best tacos you can get your hands on, well, apparently not. There was a review in New York Eater back in January, and what they said is that the plain ground beef inside the tacos was so devoid of flavour, it rendered an insult to Mexicans every bit as profound as Trump's previous pronouncements. Now, finally on this note, the eagle-eyed Twitter users have spotted that Trump also was using, as some sort of a placemat, an image of his ex-wife in a bikini. It came from an article in People magazine. You can see it a little larger version there. And people are wondering why that is his reading matter in the workplace.
And just very quickly, Emma, a very British solution to a curious boating problem.
Yes, absolutely. The British public decided, when they were given the chance to name a research vessel worth £200 million, they came up with Boaty McBoatface. It was voted for by 124,000 people. However, it couldn't be allowed to go ahead, they decided, so it instead will be named after Sir David Attenborough, who is a national treasure. He is the voice of all things agricultural, nature, wildlife, and has inspired generations. So it is a good way round the problem. Just for those who do like the name Boaty McBoatface, there will be a small undersea vehicle on board which will bear that name.
Everyone's suited to there. Thank you very much, Emma, for that spin through through social media there this hour. Thanks very much. That's all from me for now. There's more news and headlines coming up after this very short break. Do stay with us.